All right. Welcome to the show, guys. Great to have you.
Thank you
Just
for
want to
having
take a
us.
moment. Just take a moment and let's introduce ourselves. My name is Randy. I am in Oklahoma City.
What's up, Randy?
I'm Ashton. I'm in Piedmont, Oklahoma.
Hey, what's up?
What's up?
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
What's
Hey,
up?
what's up?
And
We are
you guys are yeah.
Clozure from
Okay.
Alabama,
True.
but we're also stationed in Kentucky and Florida.
Yeah.
Very rare are we like together in interviews, and here we are.
That's really
Good
cool.
timing.
I was going to ask about that. I didn't think you were all in Alabama, but that's really cool.
Yeah, we're in the studio right now, so
Yeah.
that's kind of a good time to have this
Ah,
interview. Yeah.
heck yeah. Heck
Yeah.
yeah. So, did you recognize anybody in that slideshow? Maybe
Yeah, quite a few
Fozzie?
actually.
Ozzy?
Yeah, recently.
Uh, yeah. And what? How did that come about?
Our tour with Fozzie, how did it come about?
Well, our management reached out and connection to connection, and ended up finding the right people, and
Yeah.
they got to listen to our stuff and said we'd be a good fit. Next thing you know, we're on the road with Fozzie.
I
Wish it was
absolutely
always
love
that
those
easy.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy, but
Fair enough.
We will say the management for Fozzie though was probably the easiest that we've worked with so far
they have been
on tour. Yeah.
It was pretty good.
And
Yeah,
Fozzie's team's
really
so
nice guys.
beyond like down to earth and like kind people. So
Yep, good people.
Absolutely, yeah. We interviewed. Oh my gosh, I just lost his name. The guitar player,
Rich,
Rich,
Rich Ward. Yeah, we interviewed him up in Kansas City, and we're having this great interview on the bus with him and everything. And then here comes Jericho out of the back, and just like video cameras, and it was like for the daily news in Kansas City or something.
sounds about right.
yeah,
And he comes out and he's just kind of talking about music. Hey, did you hear that album that came out? And he's like, are you doing an interview? And Rich is like, yeah, dude. He's like, you mind if I join in? I'm like, what the fuck?
Sure, twist my arm.
Yeah,
Rich Jericho
so,
definitely is a hard worker. I mean, when we were on tour with him,
oh,
he must have flown out at least like 2 or 3 times to different states and then flown back in just to do a show the same night.
it's
So the
amazing.
guy's like an
It's not.
absolute workhorse.
Yeah, his success is not by accident.
Yeah,
It is not.
by no
every
means.
bit
Yeah,
of it. Yeah,
he's a hard worker. He's definitely a performer in like more ways than one.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's a great bunch of guys. And I am glad to hear because this was probably 6 or 7 years ago that we had done the interview with them. And I thought the same thing. I was like, these guys are amazing. They're just down to earth, really cool. The publicist was great. The management was great. And it's awesome to hear that nothing has changed because you expect something totally different, and that's not what
Yeah,
you get. You get so much better.
well, the days of being the pretentious rock star are gone. They're long gone. You can't be like
You
that
are
and connect with
not
people.
wrong.
Yeah,
You are
it's a good
not
thing too.
wrong. Yeah.
A very
uh,
good thing.
that was, gosh, that was so overdone. But so many people that I've met, that you're just like, oh, he's going to be so arrogant. He's going to be such an asshole, and just the sweetest people.
He
And
was
they
talking
get
about
out there.
me.
Oh, shut up. But yeah, and there's so much more of hanging after their show and hanging before their show where they'll actually get out in the crowd and talk to people. They
yep,
actually spend time at the merch booth.
yep,
Whoa. You never used to see that like 15, 20 years ago. And it's what's happening now. And I
Yeah.
love it.
yeah,
What's interesting you say that. That's the only way you're going to make it now. You have to do those things. You have to go out there and meet the people that come to see you. I mean, they're spending their hard-earned money to come see you. At least you can do is take a moment to talk to them and actually
I
meet
love
up
it.
and discuss some of the reasons why they come to see you. If they like your show, you get to get better at what you do because of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
that's very
does
true.
So, what can fans expect to see out of your live shows? Anybody that has not come to see you yet?
Fuck the light.
We have an IT guy right now. Hold on.
Yeah, hold
She's
on.
working this.
I'm being IT.
Our lighting person's having a
You know
hard
what's
time
so
right
funny,
now.
In a normal situation, do not trust me with anything expensive because I will be the one that breaks it every time. I think it's
You want me
the
to fix
cord.
it?
This is great.
You want me to
Go
fix
Bro,
for
we're
it.
at a
Do it.
rave.
This is such the best.
This is how you know we're really in the studio, just like working with what we got. No, I think it's the cord. I swear. It's not me.
It's the
Maybe.
plug.
No, like this thing, if you bend the cord where the plug is, it turns
Oh no.
Nailed it. We're all gonna get shocked.
That's exactly what I was thinking. She lets her hand up and lets him do it, going, "Oh no, that ain't safe." And then
There's gonna be some pyro during the show.
But,
Right.
to trail back to your question and like a little bit what Mike said, just like a little bit beforehand, I think rock music, because like I'm 27, so like when I grew up, rock music was starting to come back up again. You know what I mean? The 70s and 80s was absolutely wild. I have two 40-year-old brothers. My father and my mom are 60. So I was really raised when like it was fresh and new and hitting the roads in order to get your disc out, to when like the massive hair metal and glam metal and all of that was out. So I hear all the stories. And by time I was like 17, 18 years old, I mean, we have the Warp Tours and whatnot, but it was really kind of like the rock bands were starting to have to become friends again with their fans.
Yeah.
And pop music was like the big thing, and rap music was starting to become more than popular than ever. And then rock music went back to being just the genre for the people. I mean, it explains stories and emotions and life experiences way more than any pop song or rap song you'll ever listen to.
yeah.
And
True.
the live shows for rock and roll, I think, are probably one of the most supportive. I've seen Slayer 3-4 times. I go into the mosh pit every single time. I break a nail in someone's face eventually, and you'll see someone fall, and
These
then
things are scary.
they're rounded out right now. They're safe now. But you'll see someone fall, and it's someone in the pit itself picking them right back up. So to answer your question in the longest form possible, our rock and roll shows, like every time before I even get off stage, I make sure to tell all my, like, you know, all, I don't even like to say fans, but like everybody in the crowd
I know, right?
to come to the merch table and like take pictures, say hello. Like it does not matter. We want you to like actually get to know us, because then we're able to explain to you a little bit more why, you know, Michael wrote Walk in the Sun, and, you know, the amount of like emotions that it has, you know, and why it means a lot to us. Or we can explain, you know, where Nevermore came from. And I think you start to appreciate the music just a little bit more, because then we're no longer just people on stages, but now, even if you were curious of the song, now we gave you an answer to it. And sometimes it can even help you solve something that you're going through. So our rock shows are very high energy at first, very possibly intimidating and crazy on stage, because this motherfucker never stands still. But then off stage,
It's true.
it's just like a big family. Like take a freaking bonfire party or something, and everyone's talking about their favorite song or their favorite whatever, and it's the same thing at our merch tables.
Yeah.
So
Sorry
with,
for the long
all
answer.
with all that said, let's get into why Michael wrote "Walk in the Sun."
Oh.
It's not released yet. It's actually a really
not
good
released
interview
yet.
question. No, go for it.
So I really love my dogs, right? I have a dog named Ginger that's about 11. Well, she's actually going on 12 years old now.
Oh,
And she's red. And I saw her first starting to turn gray. She's starting to get to where she doesn't walk as well now. And she loves to go out and lay in the sun and walk around in the sun. It's her favorite thing. And I started thinking about the idea of loss and being able to grasp what the idea of loss and what it means to me and anybody else that's had someone or something that they've missed, which is really where me and Nikolai really connected on this one with it.
Because when I met Clozure, I think it was a year and a half after my dad died. And so I have never been able to write like a real good song about what I went through with my father. I mean, I still struggled a lot in therapy to kind of explain losing your dad at 25. So he came up with Walk in the Sun. And it's so funny because he's mentioning the red and the gray. And like that might be for Ginger's fur. But the reason why it hit hard on me was because I was the one that had to find my father. And so I saw him moments after, as it passed, to seeing him get stretched away, and like his lips were no longer red. They were like turning that bluish gray.
Yeah.
So the words are just deep enough where you can find some meaning no matter what situation you're going through. And I mean, I swear to God, me and Mike became like older brother and little sister. Oh my God, I'm getting teary-eyed. This is so ridiculous.
Uh-huh.
10 minutes in the interview.
Yeah.
But we became like brother and sister after that moment, because it doesn't matter what you lose. When you put so much love into something, it's very hard to part ways with it. And Walk in the Sun was genuinely kind of like a therapy session for that.
It's resolution. It's
Yeah.
acceptance of something that's beyond your control.
It's closure.
Yeah, closure. It is.
Awesome.
And it helps to be able to put that out.
Whenever we first got together, I mean, for us, the first 4 songs that went into the studio and all, we went in there with some bass songs and ideas on it, and it's like everything just worked.
Yeah.
Everything fits so well.
Yeah.
It's all the pieces came together all
Yeah.
at once.
I have known these guys for about a year and 3 months now only.
Yeah.
And when we went in the studio, we literally only knew each other for 2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I never even
Dang.
got to meet all of my bandmates until the day of the studio.
Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
it's amazing what like the whole online experience can do. It can bring us together and do interviews. It can also bring a whole entire band from 3 different states and 2 countries together.
Her poor
That's
mom
insane.
Thought she was coming to see some serial killer in Alabama that she was going to
Yeah.
fly away, land, and never come back.
Yeah, we're city folks. Originally
Is
from New
it
York,
really a
Orlando, and I'm telling
band?
my mom and dad, I'm telling my mom, I was like, hey, I'm going to Enterprise, Alabama, and she's like, where the hell is that? I'm like, honestly, I
What everybody
don't
says.
know.
We're
Oh,
gonna find
my
out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And how did you guys all come together? I mean, not being from the same place. How did that happen?
It's kind of crazy. We did have previously our management reached out and knew that she had recently left her band. At that time, we
Okay.
were looking for another lead singer and bassist. The connection worked out pretty good. We had some interviews, discussed some things on the phone and all, and it just worked out. that
Yeah.
way once we connected and started talking. With our bassist Zach up in Kentucky, we had actually went through there on a previous tour with Scotty Austin and Rehab and some other guys.
Oh,
Mhm.
cool.
And they actually opened up for us in a really small bar up there. But it's just we loved his stage presence and his excitement and energy and all. He was just a good fit, and he's ex-military too, which kind of fits in with us for some weird
Right.
reason. You know?
Yeah. It's actually interesting because I knew the old management for a little bit. Zach actually got to meet me once or twice before when I played at Louder Than Life with my old band. So
That's right. Yeah.
even when we all grouped, they knew Zach because of a previous tour. Zach saw me from a festival that I was playing with the previous band. And then next thing you know, we're all just sitting on a live stream and they're telling me how they meet Zach. Zach's giving me the up and down look like, where the hell do I know this chick from? And in some weird way or form, by like a 3rd degree connection, we all kind of knew each other. So it just really seemed like the stars aligned. But I think we knew for fact that it was legitimate when I went to Alabama the very first time and I asked Matt if he ever like listened to me sing or like, what made you want a female singer? And he's like, I never listened to you once. And I'm like, dude, I flew to a different state and you don't even know what I sound like. He's like, oh, I don't care what you sound like online. I care how you sound in person.
Yeah.
And then within like a day or two, I think
Sure.
the Devil Effect was like completely written.
Yep. Yeah.
And that was it. And so it just clicked. I mean, it's interesting how it worked because I know they didn't want a female singer for a hot
Well,
minute.
at first we really grappled with the idea of that because we'd never had a female fronted
Mhm.
singer. So it's
They were scared that I was going to be high maintenance, but now I'm the one that like assaults them on tour and gives them titty twisters and
oh
You
no,
know.
no. Don't get me wrong. She's still high maintenance.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But now they're like, what the hell? We were nervous about like your changing situation and like if we were gonna say
Right.
something off, and all you do is cuss us out and give us titty twisters, and I'm like, yeah, you're welcome, boys.
That part's really true too. It's like having a little sister. It really is.
It really is.
Well, Randy, I think as they were saying moments ago about not knowing how they sounded, let's give the world a little taste.
Oh yes.
Awesome. Here is Criminal Minds by Clozure.
Cool. Our latest.
Woo.
Well, I ain't no background kind of type. I'll grab the
Oh man, you guys look like a blast.
Yeah.
They turned us
Was that all
into-
happening at the merch table? Is that what happens there?
Pretty much. Actually, fun fact, yes, it is 100%. So right now we're at Warehouse 231, and our very first run and tour, it's a bring your own like BYOB kind of venue, right? So you can only
Uh-huh.
bring your own alcohol.
Uh-huh.
So then I thought, you know, me being the business major from college and all, I thought, how interesting would it be if I gave a free shot of alcohol for every item purchased at the merch table? So, fun fact, if you purchased like I think what was it, like magnets or patches or a shirt, you would get a free shot. So that
Uh-huh.
has actually happened at the merch table. We have been pouring shots.
That's
So you
not a
know,
bad idea.
Making friends.
number one in merch, let me tell you. Number one in merch.
Oh,
That's
my
smart.
goodness.
I find
So
that
how
to
do
be
you
a
get-
brilliant idea, but what were the shots of?
So we had Jim Beam, Fireball, Tito's vodka, and then I think we got
Jaeger?
Jaeger.
Jaeger,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And then we had like orange juice, apple juice, and Coke as mixers if you don't want a shot.
Yep.
And I swear to God, it was me and my merch girl and my best friend. And I was literally like asking people, what did they want? And then they would tell, you know, Kat, like, let me get that shirt in a large. And I said, awesome. And what do you want to drink? And then I was like making the drinks and like taking pictures with people. And it was a fun experience. And it was the very final show of that tour. So it was kind of cool. Matt got shit faced. It was awesome.
Merch tender / bartender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard a business major go vocalist, go bartender.
Yeah. Well,
It takes a lot to survive these days.
it takes a lot. Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all a
That
form
is
of
hilarious.
hospitality if you think about it. You know what I mean? You're taking care of the people
Yes.
somehow.
That is true. Very, very true.
So how do you guys go about writing a song? Who starts it out? Who lays it all down? And then when do you feel comfortable to send it to the next person or to the next level to get another layer put on top?
Matt does a lot of the
Yeah,
song.
I do a
architecture, yeah.
lot of writing. Like, I don't know. Anytime I pick up a guitar or sit behind a piano, I'm just automatically writing. I've never been much of a person that likes to cover music.
Okay. Yeah.
But usually what we do is me and Coral will get some bass structure of the guitar and kind of send it out, see if everybody likes it. If they do, we'll go ahead and add all the pieces, make the bridge for it, you know, and tie in the choruses and everything. We'll send it over to McCann to lay down the drums. Then Zach will put down the bass, and we'll kind of get like a rough mix and send it to Nicola. And she could start on her vocals and tell us to either lengthen things, shorten things. I don't like this, you know, let's go here, go there.
Mhm.
So it's just really all of us writing our own pieces and trying to make it all fit. So what we do is we get it to about 80%. And when we get together, we kind of finish the song out because you're around each other and get to have the feelings of writing music
Right.
together.
Right.
Or Malcolm
You can
Springer.
look them in the eye.
Yeah. Tell me it
It gets
sucks. That's
Malcolmized.
fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You
then we
see the
write 80% of
cringe
the
and
song.
go, just no.
Yeah. Then our producer comes in the room and he goes, yeah, I like it, but. And then chorus doesn't happen. And then we look at Cordell and we see a single tear drop from Cordell's eyes because he knows that everything that he just played in lead is about to change
Yes.
once more. And
Did
that's
he
our
just say
songwriting process.
cowbell? Did he just say cowbell? He wants.
That would make things so much easier.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a
Oh,
good
my
process.
goodness.
It really is. It's working out for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what elements do you think you need to have to go into a song to make it viable today?
5 hooks.
Yeah.
5 hooks.
5 hooks
I
are no
don't-
longer
yeah.
than 3 minutes and 30 seconds unless you're prescribing Adderall with your song listen.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love hooks. And in this day and age, you got to keep it a little shorter than, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do.
you really do. And hooks are what get me. I love melodies and I love hooks. And
Lucky for you, I write nothing but choruses. That's what my producer told me.
yeah.
I got you.
crazy thing about it is you look at how hard it is in like a 2.5 minute song to bring emotion about.
Yeah.
Because if they can't feel emotion and connect with whatever song you have, be it anger, angst, loss, whatever it is, you have 2.5 minutes on the average
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
to bring somebody into the fold.
Mhm.
And we're lucky we got a good chemistry with that right now. Her lyrics are fucking killer. His licks are freaking amazing. It's a great freaking.
I think the
We got the right
trick
people.
is to not always make the next Dream On by Led Zeppelin, but to always create like the next Walk This Way or like Iron Man, like a really catchy song that will get stuck in your head because you're going to have albums and albums and albums to explain yourself. So with Criminal Mind, it didn't need to be every experience that I've ever had partying on the road. It just needed to be that one tour. And with Nevermore, it didn't have to explain my whole breakup. It just needed to explain the breakup of me finally being over it. And that's the cool thing about music is it's vague enough where you can apply your life experiences to it, or it's catchy enough where you can listen to that and then hope that there's like a Nevermore 2.0 or a similar song of attribute. You know, I think people kind of get lost in the sauce sometimes and they want to put everything in the song, and not everyone can be like Sleep Token or, you know, Polyphia. So,
Right.
That is freaking true.
10-minute songs with like 14 different breakdowns.
Tool's already done
Mhm.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God, don't mention Tool.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I want to jump in with a really important part of every time we do an interview, and we're going to throw your website up on the screen so everybody can go find where they can find all your stuff.
Thank you.
I
Thank
say
you.
that
Yeah.
as I assume Ashton's prepared for that.
Oh, he did it.
I am. I just gotta remember how to do it. It's been a month since we've done this.
Yeah, we
There you go. That's us. We gotta
Gotta
talk to
show off
IT
a little
and
bit of
get that
everything.
updated, don't we?
Yeah.
We
Hey,
have
it
some
still
updates.
looks good though.
Thank you.
Thanks. And just to keep it simple, Official Clozure is our website. Official Clozure is also our Facebook handle, our Instagram handle, our TikTok handle, our OnlyFans handle. But I'm not on it. It's our bassist Zach that actually takes the photos and,
Yep.
and poses.
Yep. Might be some discipline.
I know where I'm going after this.
Yeah, right.
Nobody's Zach's feet.
You know, see, he's got the tater and I got the tots. So, you know.
Wow.
Match made in heaven.
Came up with it.
Thank you.
I've definitely
Talent,
got to
really.
go to you
This is
guys'
why I'm the
TikTok for
songwriter.
sure.
This is right here.
No,
I just love how much chemical. Oh,
Sorry, I was gonna say I wasn't catching everything that was on the website, but I assume there's a merch link on there. But I will say that I'm guessing it doesn't come with shots through the website, so you'll have to go to
Don't let us
shows.
do that.
We'll figure it out.
We don't have a liquor license.
If only. If only.
Oh my goodness. That's great stuff. Great stuff. You can tell that you guys have a great chemistry. And I think that video that we just watched said it all. Absolutely said it all. You're talking about her titty twisters and you see her just
Yes, it's true.
It's beautiful.
You can thank Pepper Gomez of Wake Up Music for denying our original song that we were going to release, because she was like, hey, I know this is like last minute, but we really do love Walk in the Sun. However, we would love a more catchier song to first release you guys with, so they don't think you're a ballad rock band. And I'm like, that's a really good point. Here's the only issue, Pepper. We're on tour right now. How are we shooting a music video?
Right.
So we literally bought a camera from Best Buy, which later we returned it.
Yeah.
And it was my best friend and my merch girl. She literally filmed all of it, us on stage live performing. And then we literally went to a random restaurant in downtown New York.
Yep.
And they had the whole entire upstairs.
Manhattan, wasn't it?
It was in Manhattan? Yeah, it
it
was.
in Manhattan, yeah.
Yeah, we were in Manhattan, and they gave us the whole entire upstairs room. And they're like, hey, if you want this,
I feel
take
bad
it.
because we have to give that restaurant a plug because they were so good to us.
Oh my God, what was the name?
I got to go look it up in
Oh.
the pictures. I feel
Yeah.
horrible.
Too many
If they're
drinks.
listening,
Yeah, we had a couple drinks.
I feel really bad for not doing it. We will try and do our best to get that plug out there.
And shout out, if you do love
Yes.
Fozzy, keep an eye open, because you'll see Damien, their merch guy, and you'll also see Trent, their head sound guy and stage guy.
Great
in
people.
there too. So we were chilling with the Fozzy
Yep.
crew shooting that video. So you really get to kind of hang out with the band, and it's not overly edited or anything. Although my good friend Josh Magnolia from Magnolia Park, which we did a collab with for a cover, he's the one who edited that whole video. So everything is shot and produced, and everyone in the music video, everything is just friends, family, good times, good vibes. So it literally is the perfect depiction for Criminal Minds.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like the perfect video. Like you said, it's not overdone.
Yeah.
It shows your guys' relationship, and it shows your personalities right along with the song. So it's great.
It's so
Well, I
funny.
want to get one
People
more
kind of see me as a
question out to you
dominatrix
guys.
chick on stage, and now they're going to see me as like this absolute buffoon behind the camera.
No.
It's okay. It's whatever.
Makes it more personable.
You know?
With you guys being in the studio now, when can we expect new stuff out released from you guys?
Let's see, around February, March timeline.
Yeah,
You'll probably
February
see
or
some.
March for the first.
That's what we're
single.
shooting for right now for the first single. that
Yeah.
is.
Probably March.
Yeah.
So probably
Not
March.
far out.
Don't ask us which one, because right now that song is in the process of being recorded, and by that song there's 5 of them, and we don't know yet. But one of them
One of the 5.
going to be the next song.
Yeah.
One of them's going to raise to the top. They doing changes all through until you record it. I know how it is. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be the one that we're probably the most excited for. Is probably going to be the first one that we want to release, because it really is interesting. We say it's our next favorite song, and then we realize we're saying that for every single song that we do release.
right.
You know, we don't write a crazy ton of music, but we do write about an EP a year, and because we're a bit more selective, we kind of have a little bit more control of what we're releasing out to the fans, and that's why we do the whole experience of a music video with content, with the song, so everyone really gets to get a little bit of everything, you know.
Absorb and digest it.
Yeah.
It's not a bad plan.
I absolutely love it. So, do we have any plans to get out on the road anytime soon, or are we just in recording and writing mode?
All of it.
Yes, we will be
Nice.
going out this summer, a couple different tours. We're still working on all those things, but
Okay.
they will see us out there, and we will, as soon as we get everything lined out, be putting out feelers and all the information for ticket sales and everything else.
Yeah, there is a couple festivals in the Midwest that I know we're looking at, and it's like 80% booked and everything. So
Yeah, there's this place in Oklahoma called Rocklahoma.
I think
Yeah,
I
we
think
know
we've
about
heard
that.
of that.
that's
If
interesting.
you guys could put in a good word for us, that would be a
Yeah, you
great
should put in a
addition.
good word, because I'm pretty sure that came up in conversation a couple.
Could be. Could be.
Wow.
We're hoping
Hmm.
for things like
Huh.
that.
That'd be nice.
Just bring your rain boots. Something happens every year. Every
I
day.
wear thigh highs, baby. I'm made for this.
Okay, you're safe.
I got
I
a birthday
love-
suit. I'll make it.
It's waterproof.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's also weathered, but that's okay.
It's weathered. Oh, well, thank you guys so much. And I cannot wait to see what you guys have in store for this next year. And it sounds like you've got it all planned. And it's going to be a great 2025. So
Well, we're hoping.
thank
That's
you.
right,
And
yeah.
just keep us informed, because we would love to have you back on. If you have anything to announce, pop on and send us anything you want, and we'll make sure we get it on the website, post it on our Facebook, and just blow it up for you.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
We appreciate you having us on. Thanks.
Have a good evening.
You too.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. That was great. Christian, what is shaking?
What's going on, guys? Can you hear me okay?
Oh, you sound great.
Perfect.
All right, all
I'm
right.
a little jealous.
I know. I was like, are you in a studio? That sounds good.
No, I'm sitting in my truck. But yeah, it's almost like a studio.
Wow, I think we need to downgrade. Because
Right, for real.
You sound really good.
I was like, yeah, that's
Technology is a
crispy.
wonderful thing, guys. Technology is a wonderful thing.
That's yeah. That is for
Oh
sure.
my goodness. So I just want to kind of introduce you to us. My name is Randy and I'm in Oklahoma City.
What's going on? Love Oklahoma City.
Heck yeah. I'm Ashton and I'm not far from that. I'm in Piedmont, Oklahoma.
And I'm John. I'm in Topeka, Kansas.
Oh, he's up in Kansas. I like the bison burgers up there. I mean, up in Oklahoma.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not
my
many people
goodness.
even know what that is.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Christian,
But what's-
let's dive into a little bit of background of you and how you got started in your business and what you're doing currently.
Well, I mean, it goes way back. I mean, so I was like 12 when I started playing guitar, and then many iterations of bands later. Fast forward to 2018, I decided after doing the band thing, that all for one, one for all mentality kind of goes away. So I decided to do like a solo project because I decided it had to be fun for me, or I wasn't going to do it. And then it just evolved into what it is now, which it's me and my band, and yeah, that's kind of the short version of it.
Absolutely dig it. Now I linked up through you because of Eric from Wild Street from a post because you have an upcoming tour, the Spirit of '89. How did that come about for you?
Well, I know PJ Farley from Trickster, and we had been talking. We've been talking off and on for a few years, and we just we were talking about me possibly going on the road with them, and the stars have finally aligned.
I'm going to say that to me is one of those dream tours of the summer coming
No
up.
kidding. That's what I'm thinking too.
For
Pretty
sure.
Boy Floyd, Trickster, and Christian, and I think there's another
Enough's
band in there
Enough.
randomly here and out.
Yeah, Enough's Enough's going to
littered
join
in
us. Enough's going to join us for the last 5 dates on this leg. I'm not sure if there's going to be further legs. There's been talk of it, but I'll leave that up to them, and then I'll announce it when I know.
Right on.
Fair enough.
Right on.
So, what is the weather like? Where are you at?
I'm in Austin right now. It's cold.
Austin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang.
I
They're about
moved.
to get the same we are.
I moved down from Rhode Island. I'm originally from Rhode Island. I moved from Rhode Island to Austin to get away from that cold.
Right.
And Texas winter just hits a little different because up there it's more like a dry cold. Down here it's kind of like a moist cold, so you just can't get warm.
Yeah. we were
Yeah.
in Houston and it was just so hot. It's so humid. I'm like, how is anybody doing this? And then to hear how cold it is down there now, it's like I can't even imagine. Nope. It
Yeah.
was so hot. It was so
It was miserable.
If you want humidity, Louisiana, so,
yes.
like right along the Gulf in the summertime, you guys would love
Yeah.
it. Trust me.
Oh man.
Oh my goodness.
And I love
John-
Louisiana. For any Louisiana fans listening or watching, like I said, I'm not insulting Louisiana, but I'm saying the humidity,
Yeah,
I'm-
it's
I'm-
wet.
They're a little crazier down there.
It is wet. John got some snow up there in Kansas, and we are about to get it tomorrow. So,
I think it's supposed to just rain here.
oh,
We only got like
That's not bad.
like 13 inches or something. It's not nothing.
That's nothing. Come on, you can handle it.
Hey Randy, let's play a short little clip of some Christian Shields.
well, alrighty. So I've got "Raise 'Em Up" queued. So here we go.
Raise them up.
Hey, fun fact: if I take my earbud out of my ear, the video pauses.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
not
like,
touching mine. I'm not touching mine because I'm afraid of I'll screw something up.
Right,
I was like,
exactly.
you know
It's fun
how
as just
your ear
rock and
kind of
roll
gets
party.
itchy, and I just take it out, and then I look at the
Mhm.
screen and it's not playing. I'm like, oh shit.
Hold up.
Well, that's new.
Right.
Like 100%, that's just a rock and roll party with that song. And I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was just the intention behind it. Is just wanted to write a song about partying, and what better than raising your drinks up, raise your horns up, whatever you want to do, raise your fist
Mhm.
Oh
up.
yeah,
You can raise up whatever you want.
you bet. And who hasn't had pizza on a slip and slide?
I don't know. Actually, that was actually my first time, but that's besides the point.
Oh yeah, that looks like a
Oh,
good time.
Lord.
That
Oh,
looks so fun.
it was a lot of fun for sure. Excuse me.
I mean, how do you
Yeah.
get everybody there? Was that like all your friends, or did you have like a casting call? Hey guys, want to be in a video?
So both. We had a bunch of friends come, and we did have a casting call. The director that did it was Boudreaux Partita of Penny Rock Productions. Him and
Uh-huh.
his producer John Jew. They put it all together. So those guys are great, and they do a lot of incredible work. If you guys want to check out other videos by other artists that they have done, they're here in Austin.
Oh dang. So
Really
local
cool.
too. That's nice.
Heck yeah.
That is freaking
So,
sweet.
what was the pivotal moment that led you to the music industry? What flipped the switch for you at 12 years old?
So it was actually a little bit before I turned 12. When I was 11, my dad got these bootleg tapes of Kiss playing in the 70s. He had two concerts specifically. One was the Summit, Houston, Texas, September 2nd, 1977. And then one was the Largo, Maryland Dynasty Tour show. I forget what the date on that one was. But I just remember the Houston one because it's the Live 2 stage. It's the Love Gun Tour. They were the most popular band in the world at the time. And I just remember watching them open with I Stole Your Love. And, I had no idea what Kiss was or any of that stuff up to that point. And I just saw, like, them come down the risers, Paul Stanley jumping around, strumming chords, pointing at the girls. And I looked at my dad and I said, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now let's make it happen.
And he bought him a guitar the next day. That's
Well,
Mhm.
it wasn't quite the next day, but my father and we made a deal where I would take my birthday money from my birthday that year to buy a guitar, and whatever I was short, he would put the difference for. So that's kind of like how it happened.
really
Heck
cool.
yeah.
What was your first guitar?
I still have it. It's a PV Raptor Plus. It's blue.
Nice.
It's very
Okay.
sentimental. That guitar is now old enough to drink.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's been 21 years, almost 22 years now.
That's
Oh, that is
amazing.
impressive.
Been a long time.
Ashton, I want to bring you into the mix here, and I want to get Christian's website up so everybody can find everything Christian Shields. Sorry, my vocals are trash.
It's all good.
Make sure I'm on the right slide.
See, there's a saying. I think was it Bill O'Brien or Bill O'Reilly? It was Bill O'Reilly, right? Who said "fuck it, we'll do it live." It's live, fellas. So sometimes we're gonna misspeak. We might say some things, but it's live. But yeah, ChristianShields.net has my website. You can get everything, upcoming shows, link you out to all the socials. Everything Christian Shields is on there.
Now, I saw something a little out of place that's right up there on the top. What is that with Kingdom Come? That's just
So-
like a one-off thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a one-off show. We're opening for Kingdom Come in San Antonio. That show was booked not long before, but I booked that show before I found out I was going to be on the tour.
Really
It's not a
cool.
bad
Really
deal,
cool.
though.
Not
Yeah,
a
it's a
bad
cool-
way to
it's-
warm up.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna warm up with a nice one-off in San Antonio with a great band that's legendary. So it's gonna be
Oh, yeah.
exciting.
Very much so. Yeah, that's a good little start to the whole thing.
I think saw a Kansas State in there, John.
Do what?
Yep, that's the story. I got a couple things.
This is the most important part.
Yeah,
Of course.
Kingman, Kansas. Have you
So
ever
the most
been to-
the,
That's not very close to me.
I was gonna say the most important part. Yeah, the most important part of being a musician is being a traveling T-shirt salesman. Did nobody ever say that?
Oh, yeah. Hits the nail on the head, though.
Hell yeah.
It's like 5% music, 95% selling T-shirts.
You're not wrong. That being said, everybody go out to the show, buy the merch, buy it from the band, give them gas money, man.
Yeah, if
You
you
can
buy
pay
it
for
from
They
the
got to get to
show,
the
go
next
the
one.
website and buy it from the website. They will mail it to you, I'm sure.
yes, we can ship. So yeah,
Very good.
but
Very
or if you want to
good.
save yourself some shipping costs, come to the show.
Yeah, just
Even
come to
better.
the show.
Instead of wasting money on shipping and handling, you get to go watch some awesome freaking music.
That too. But see, I'm peddling the
I mean-
T-shirts instead of the music.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, what elements do you feel needs to go into a song to make it a hit song or a viable song in 2025?
Energy.
Love that.
I think
Fair.
energy, and I think it needs to be genuine. Like, obviously, we have a lot of tools at our disposal. You hear a lot of talk about AI, and people are scared of that. But it's like, it's like anything else. Any tool can be used to build. It can be used to destroy. It's one of those things. But I just think that, in general, the being genuine and having genuine energy, something that I personally believe a computer could never ever create, is the human spirit. So I think that as long as you inject that into your song and present it as such, I think it'll cut through.
Very well said. It's kind of like
Yeah.
when you're at work and your boss tells you, I need you to smile when you're talking on the phone. They can tell. They can actually tell if you're smiling while you're talking on the phone. And it's the same thing with music. I mean, you could just feel what is happening behind what is going on. So
Well, that's the thing. Art and music, it's supposed to make you feel something. You know, you'll see people, they'll try to write like this really complex composition, and musically it's amazing, but there's no feeling behind it. Rock music is supposed to make you feel something. Like, especially when you go to a live show, you want to feel the energy. If not, you might as well just stay home and put on the record.
right.
I mean, the great Paul Stanley has said that many times.
You are giving John the best
John
day
is
of his
loving
life.
this. He is loving this.
He knows, that's why.
This was actually the first concert I ever went to too.
Mine too.
It's good stuff, man. Yeah, they hooked me. They hooked me. I was like, oh, they're just gonna be over the top. They're overrated. No, those guys are good. They are good.
They are great. They're amazing. They're epic.
Agree.
We can use so many adjectives to describe them.
And
Positive and negative.
I think we should throw out there, Paul, Gene, if you're listening, because I'm sure that's what you're doing on a Wednesday night, is listening to us. We'd love to have you on.
Wouldn't that be
You
something?
miss every shot you don't take.
You gotta throw it out there.
Hey, if you don't ask, the answers are already no.
Yep.
Exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
Of all the bands that you've done shows with and such over the years, kind of like this Spirit of '89 tour coming up, is there a band that you absolutely love being on the road with, and why?
Well, this is going to be the most most extensive. Sorry, I misspoke. A little bit of projection there. Anyway, no, I misspoke. See, we're
Buy
doing it live,
t-shirts.
people. We're doing it live. Yeah, sell those T-shirts. So this is going to be the most extensive tour I've done with a headliner or a national act in my career thus far. I've always done one-offs or weekend runs or whatever. It never aligned for me to open for somebody. But I would say, I mean, I've opened for bigger bands, but I'm not saying in a touring capacity. But I mean, I've opened for so many great bands with various bands that I've been in. I've opened for Saliva, Hollywood Undead, Hawthorne Heights, All That Remains, Candlebox, Lynch Mob, The Treatment, Jackal. I'm gonna try to go down the list as many as I can. Dangerous Toys. I'm friends with Jason McMaster. He's here. I'm friends with all of them actually, but they're here in
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
They're awesome to play with. Jason is such a nice, awesome guy. I'm glad to have him I can call him a friend. I mean, Anvil was super cool to open for. Lips is a really nice guy. Spent a lot of time with him. I mean, man, I could keep going down the list. Striper was a great hang. You know, I love them all. Each one is a different experience, but you know, at the end of the day, you're just dealing with people. Like I tell everybody, I'm just a person. You know, I try not to fangirl anybody. You know, I understand people getting exciting to meet people, but it's just like we're just people.
I get that. Sometimes I fanboy a little bit too. Also, I want to throw back out there for Jason McMaster from Dangerous Toys. He also has a podcast called Talk Louder. If
I've been on it.
Have time, go out and check that out as well.
Great podcast. I've been on it.
You've done a little bit of everything. I'm jealous.
He is
I get around.
Very talented man.
Very.
Networking, my friend. You guys got to network. That's how it
Absolutely.
works.
That is true.
Years and years ago, we actually had Jason on our show with us. It was long before we were doing it with a video feed. It was all just by phone and just talking. Great guy. Love him to death. It's my favorite hoodie. I still wear almost daily is my Dangerous Toys hoodie. So I love those guys 1,000%. They're very aware. I've seen them multiple times in the Kansas City.
Great band.
And him and don't make me lose my train of thought because we're live.
Come on back.
I'll just stop and back up and not talk anymore right now.
It's okay. You get excited. You know what I mean? With so much music, it's like, how much can we cram into the limited time we have? You know?
Yeah, him and Scott. I always have a great time when I see them, and they remember me when I show up, and it's a great feeling to. I'm like, they shouldn't remember me. I'm nobody, you know, but they do, and it's a great feeling to know that they connect with their fans like that.
Yeah, they're very personable, and you know, I mean, it is a great feeling when you get remembered. I mean, I'm terrible with names. I've met so many people. It's like, hey, but you know, I do my best.
Yeah. I do the same thing. It happens with age.
Sure.
Ashton, you'll get there eventually.
I don't know about that.
That's what's good about like what we're doing right here. We've all got our name right underneath us, so it's like, hey, John.
Well, John doesn't. John's the odd man out.
Oh yeah, well that's true.
Because he wants to be special.
So, in case anybody at home, right there. So it's Christian Shields. Christian Shields. There you go.
And it is scrolling across the banner on the bottom of the screen as well, so you can definitely go take down the website and go find that merch and go buy some stuff from him to help him on his tour.
Yes, it would be a big help. Also, follow me on all platforms and share with all your friends. Word of mouth is the most effective method of promotion. The algorithm is not.
Yeah. The algorithm's how you get buried.
Yes, the algorithm quashes reach more than it actually amplifies reach. So, you know, it's like anything else. You just got to work with the tools that we have. It's not the end all be all. It could be a great tool, but it can also be a very bad tool.
Yeah.
Agree.
Christian, what else do you have that's upcoming that you want to get out there to the world, or you want to share with us, or however you want to put it?
Well, so right now the focus is going to be on the shows upcoming and the tour. Hopefully there'll be more touring, but you know, let's get this thing underway and let's see what happens. And you know, I don't want to say things that aren't happening for sure. There's going to be a new song this year, a new video. we'll see, release to be determined, and how to present that. Um, but yeah, I think from now on, I'm probably just gonna do singles instead of records. The way that people consume music now, nobody really listens to records front to back,
Yeah.
in one sitting. And I don't, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I know people get disappointed, but it's like, it's just the medium has changed. So,
Hmm.
like anything else, you got to evolve and adapt with the times.
Yep.
So,
That's what I was
if
about
that's
to
what
say.
people are
Adapt,
doing,
adapt, adapt.
and a lot of these records that we like, you go back, I mean, realistically, there's 3 singles on the record. So, I would rather focus on touring, and maybe in between each leg, release one song, tour.
Hmm.
The beauty about the way things are done now is you don't have to tour in support of an album anymore. Albums and touring are not mutually exclusive. Bands used to tour to support an album, but
Hmm.
now you could put out a song and people will listen to it, but those people might not necessarily be concert goers. So, because of the internet and all that stuff, I know we've been in this age for 25 years plus now, but it really seems that it's really starting to shift and the industry's starting to catch on, especially in rock. I mean, I think pop has had this nailed forever, because even back in the 70s there was bands and artists that just did singles. So I think it goes further and farther than doing a record. You can focus on putting out maybe 2 or 3 really great songs every year, and then
Yeah.
just tour, and
Yeah.
then it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. Or you could put out. I mean, I don't want to rule out that I'd ever do an album again. It's just that you got to think of cost, all that stuff, and I just think that this is the direction it's going in, and I'll adapt with what I get as things evolve.
I like it because I think if you have 8 to 10 songs on a record, two of them, three of them may get buried in there, and folks won't really latch on to them like they probably would have a single, or they'll be like, "Oh, I love this song," and we've always been doing it. I listen to song number 1, 4, 9, and 7. That, but hopefully things don't get buried in an album. That's why I think a lot of it has kind of taken off with EPs and just putting out singles. Every song that is released has an impact.
Yeah, if you want to go for maximum impact, sure, I agree with you. Um, you got to think of like people, the casual listener. Obviously, hardcore metalheads and rock fans like we are,
Hmm.
we'll do deep dives into a band's catalog and record, especially the older bands. That's why they put out these box sets, and now we'll eat that up. But the casual listener, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way, just the casual listener, they don't consume music like that. A lot of times they consume music in passing. They hear a song, on the radio. They'll hear a song in a video. They might hear a clip of it. They may not even hear the whole song. Then they go on Shazam and say, "Hey, what's this song?" So,
Hmm.
and then they just grab that song and throw it on a playlist. They might not listen to anything else you do or anything like that, and that's okay. So I think the barrier to entry now, so to speak, instead of buying a record to get one song you like. Now, granted, you hear about the old timers. They, no disrespect, they talk about, oh, nobody buys records anymore, and it's like, well, I understand you're used to that business model, but it's different now, and
It is. It
I
is.
think that bands are more popular now than they ever were. Especially, you're seeing a resurgence of bands from, you know, maybe the 80s or something like that. Not pointing the finger at anybody in particular, because, some people might get, "Hey, you talking about me?" And it's like, no, but I will say this. I will say this: if the shoe fits, wear that bitch. Besides the point. Um, but it's making people relevant again. Not saying that they were never relevant or that they were irrelevant. I'm just saying it's making people more popular and more relevant, and keeping them more. They're like more consistent, instead of like having these high highs and low lows.
Mhm.
They're kind of like more just like cruising. You know what I mean?
I love how you
That's
put that. That's
true.
absolutely right. I
Yeah.
love that.
I mean, you got to have foresight and see. Like, I mean, again, everybody wants to talk about the glory days. Well, I didn't exist yet. So to me, the best days are right now, and I can make them even better by, adapting to the times and the technology and all that stuff. I don't think we should be afraid of it. We used to hear about like the Beatles or Kiss, or they used to always talk about how new technology would come out in the studio, and then they would change their sound, or they would do something, and then all the other bands that were like, no, we're gonna do it the old school way. Well, they unfortunately faded into obscurity because they didn't go with the flow of what the audience went with. And and obviously now, especially with algorithmic playlists and all that stuff, there is a lot of niche genres, but you know there's obviously people can still do the same thing, but I think now you have a little bit more wiggle room because people can easily genre skip and all that stuff on playlists. So there's not, the last era, I believe, was the 90s, because since we've been in, the 2000s with, well, I'd say early 2000s is probably the last era, because since the smartphone era, you basically have a time machine in your pocket. We don't need a time machine. You can go up, you can look up any video, any song from any time period, and it is relevant now. So it is the ultimate time. That is the ultimate time machine. So I think what you need to do is you just need to be timeless. You need to be undeniable, timeless, energy, and genuine. I think if you have those 4 ingredients, you can have a very long career.
I mean, that fits perfectly, because even Ozzy Osbourne's usually my example to that. If you listen to his stuff from Black Sabbath all the way to today, he's played all types of metal. He's evolved with the times. Metal's gotten heavier, so is Ozzy. And then all the new social media, TikTok, all that stuff, pop music's taking off. So what's Ozzy do? Goes and makes a song with Post Malone and is like, here, let's keep changing it. And we see how Ozzy is. It works for him. It works for everybody if you progress with everything, just like you were saying.
Yeah, just what makes sense. I mean, if you don't feel like it's genuine to you to do it, you don't have to chase the trend now. You don't have to chase the trend because that's what the label's putting money behind. You're free. You can distribute yourself. Sure, you can use a record label for their marketing push and prowess, and they obviously have a lot of influence because of the name. When people name drop, people get, ooh,
Yeah.
But you can run a whole business on your phone. You don't have to follow that trend. You can do what you want. So to me, as long as I'm enjoying it, and as long as it's genuine, and I can put my energy behind it, I think it'll go over well. And and that doesn't mean that along the way that there's not going to be some pitfalls. I might do something where I thought at the time was a good idea, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. But that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
It's the journey, not the destination, fellas.
I love
it.
Even with your outlook and what you got going on, I listen to a lot of artists that are free of labels. They've done everything themselves with the same outlook that you have, and they're self-made, very well known, very well loved, and they never once came across a label and they're just like, nope, it's just me.
Yep.
It's just different strokes for different folks, as they say.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Christian.
Thank you, guys.
If you have anything new to put out, don't hesitate to hit us up, and we would love to plaster it all over our social media and run it on YouTube and have you back on.
Oh yeah, I'd love to come back on. Like I said, keep an eye. We'll see what's going to happen. And, there will be a new song and video. I just got to say that because the fans want to know, because I was in the studio late summer last year. Yes. But patience is a virtue. But all I can say is pay attention to this tour. This is going to be epic.
Love it.
Christian, please stay in touch. I'm already following your stuff. I'm loving it.
Great. For everybody at home, christianshields.net. Follow me on all social media platforms. Facebook.com/ChristianShieldsLive. Instagram @ChristianShieldsLive. TikTok @ChristianShieldsLive. And YouTube, just youtube.com/ChristianShields. TikTok, I already said TikTok. And then X @CShieldsLive.
And I've got that website in the comments already, so just click on it.
Get going. Get going.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Christian. We will let you go, and I think you're going to have a great 2025.
I hope
Oh,
so.
yeah.
We're going to make it great 2025 together. And again, thank everybody for listening. Reach out to me on social media. I will respond. I look forward to meeting and talking to all of you. And if you guys are going to be at a tour stop on the upcoming Spirit of 1989 tour, do not be afraid to come up to me and say hello. I want to meet each and every one of you.
I love
Awesome.
that attitude.
Absolutely.
Have a great evening, and thank you for joining us.
Have a great night, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Later, man.
We bang your ugly friends too.